This program was made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Analysis with Ro. I'm your host Ro, giving you the latest in everything media. And specifically today, we are going to continue off with our Hisoka Analysis series because, my God, is he such an interesting character, and I do want to dive a bit deeper into him. Oh, not like that. I want to get more into his brain. You understand? Alright, so today we're going to be talking about two different subjects. We're going to finish off our education series, or early education series, because our next section for essentially his childhood, or Unit 1, as I've been previously discussing, is his mental health section. So pretty much finding the early seeds to why he act like that today, right? It's like, where did it all begin? We're going to talk about the starts of that in our next episodes. But for this one, I want to finish off with like early education, early instruction, things of that nature. Let's just say we've gone through quite the journey, right? We started off with knowing about Meritno. We started off with how he might have learned Nen in our tea talks. We started his knowledge for like mathematics and maybe certain other subjects. Despite being in poverty, he still had these foundations in mind due to the fact that like he lived in the equivalent of the US, and it's like, or not, you're still going to school, right? That's pretty much is the mentality. So certain things followed him through, and we see that sometimes within either the anime or the manga, depending on how you prefer to take in the story. And now we're pretty much at the end, seeing how all of those things, with the addition of a couple of racial things that I've touched upon before, just pretty much summarizing all of that together. So we're going to be doing a mixture of racial factors when it came to potentially his education, as well as neurodivergency, which crosses over right into our next section, which is the mental health section anyways. So I hope that you guys enjoy this conversation, and I will talk about in the end a couple of other things that you might need to know about. But for right now, sit tight with me and enjoy the show. Before we start the show, there are a couple of house rules to take into consideration. First of all, we got a new setting. Hello. Second of all, if you are watching this on Spotify, please remember to drop a follow for even more lovely content from me, and like and also comment down below. Your interactions absolutely do everything for me. You know, I interact with you guys, I talk with you guys. If you have any questions about how I came up with this theory, or how I ended up with like that specific conclusion, right? If you're confused, if you want to know where I get like my research from, or if you feel like just talking about this character for funsies, and hell, even dropping a couple of headcanons, if you will. I don't mind headcanons in my comments and having fun, despite this being more of a theory-based kind of thing. I like interacting with all parts of the fandom space as a whole. I love talking to other people who are more theoretical like me, right? We dive deep into the story, we dive deep into certain aspect of the characters, and we leave it at that, right? It's not really much of a fanfic thing. Maybe a couple of headcanons every now and again, but we always like to expand with the canon. That's pretty much my little space. That's how I like doing things. But for some people, it's complete fantasy. They treat these characters as if they're Barbie dolls, if you will. You want to have fun with it, that's cool too. Everybody's welcome. Everybody comment down below and just have a good time. Just please make sure to be nice to each other in the comments, right? I don't need to have to round y'all up because y'all were getting a little messy in the comments. None of that, right? This is a free Socratic space. All open discussions. that are diplomatic. All right. Number 2, if you are not on Spotify, but you are on YouTube, remember to do pretty much the same thing. Subscribe, because 75% of you are watching me, but you're not subscribed to me. Don't worry about if I bite or not. Number 1, I don't bite. Okay, let's just start there. I don't bite. I'm a friendly being. You are welcome in my humble abode, as you can clearly see. Very welcome in my humble abode. And number 2, again, this is a friendly conversational space where we get to talk about all the things that we love about Hunter x Hunter and the story and characters as a whole, right? Whether you like the characters that I discuss or you don't like them. If you do dislike them, please just don't be rude about it, right? Just be nice to everybody. There are reasons, and we'll get into that later when we get into more so adulthood, why people, feel iffy about this character and more controversial ends. I'll bring some clarification, but I'll also bring some, it's not accountability, it's something else. It's just point of reference, if you will, about why this character brings such mixed emotions. But we'll get to that way later. Right now, you're a baby. Babies don't do too much. The children don't do too much. That's why, for some of you that are confused, it's like, why are you going soft on this nigga? Because he hasn't done anything yet. According to my analysis, we are analyzing him right now. He a baby. Okay? So for my YouTube followers, do the same thing as my Spotify followers. Please make sure to follow me by subscribing. And also, liking is another way to interact. Please do that so I know that you exist. Hello. Drop a like. And also, put a thumbs up or again, your opinion down below in the comments. Be nice. But you can say whatever as long as you're nice about it. Cool? Cool. Right? For my speaker, aka my iHeartRadio, same thing. Make sure that you follow. And for some of you guys that might be asking about like my clothes, like subscription or my member following, you can either one or two things for that one, right? This goes for both Spotify and like speaker. For you guys, because there's special membership as well as like Ko-fi and Patreon for everybody else, right? If you're on YouTube and it's like, hey, you talked about last time Secession Monday being closed, right? Like it's for members only. How do I access that? What you're going to do is there will be a link in the description that has Hubi, essentially. You're going to click on that link and you are going to either join my Discord and or follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, or any other social media that you see in there, even with like Instagram. With Instagram, I might have to message you, right? The subscription. I try to keep it like to a small amount of people, right? So it doesn't get messy. So if you want to ask about that, you can either join the Discord and I'll pretty much give you free access that way to the Ko-fi and Patreon. For some of you, later down the line, if I open it up again, Twitch is another way of accessing the Discord, but for some of you guys, you have accessed it through the Hubi app. Hello to you, right? All is welcome, all is safe. For the Discord, normally you get to see like the updates, you get to see like stuff ahead of time. You are the first person pretty much to see all of that stuff. So you will also get access to the Ko-fi and the Patreon. The link will be within the Discord if you are a Discord member. If you are not a Discord member, another way to access the Ko-fi and Patreon kind of just on your own, Hubi link, because it's also in there as well. So please make sure to do that, especially if you're interested in the series Secession Monday, because after the next tea talk that I said that we're going to have, it's going to be a completely closed conversation, meaning like ain't nobody else can join. Okay? It's only for paid members, because a lot of the conversations that we're going to be having down the line, it's like very politically sensitive. If you think like the stuff that we talked about in the beginning was a lot. Trust me when I say, like, when we go down that lane, I'm not going to hold your hand anymore. When we go down that lane, trust and believe, we're going to go down that lane. We're going to go there, right? And if you can't handle it, you can join the party. But if you can't handle it, it's okay. You don't have to handle it. The character analyzation should be enough. I bring stuff for everybody. But for those of you that want to go deeper into like the Secession War arc and have intersectional conversations, or like conversations that tend to cross over into possibly like real world political dynamics, having compare and contrast with that, right? Learning lessons from that, essentially. Secession Monday is going to be close because of that reason. So that's all I want to essentially say for the members. Like, get ready, get excited about that. I'm excited for that series to go even deeper because we have so much to talk about with the Secession War arc. Let me tell you. So excited. But with that being said, yeah, if you want to be a member, this is specifically for all of you guys, but for YouTube it might be slightly different because I don't have YouTube members yet because, again, 75% of you are not subscribed. If I get to 1,000 subscribers, that might open up the YouTube members so we can have even more fun for the YouTube party. But for everybody else, you already have your like subscription members, so I'll know who you are, and I will pretty much be talking about Secession with you guys. There will be Patreon lives too, Patreon parties about not only Secession but a couple of other things. My goodness, we might even watch like other TV shows and stuff within like the Patreon. So join on in because it's good fun. I promise. Now that the house rules are over, right, pretty much you being told to follow me around and become a council member, let's get into today's show, which is pretty much the final portions of the early education series. We're going to be talking about racial factors. For those of you that aren't aware, I heavily theorize this character to be of the Hispanic Romani flavor of human, right? That's what I theorize. I do think it might have some of an effect of how he moves as a character, right? So we will be touching upon that and how it affects education specifically a bit more. And then in the next section, we're going to be talking about a couple of other theories when it comes to the mind, right, neurodivergency, and see how that applies to how he tends to move around and what type of learner he is and things of that nature. All right, guys, let's do this thing. Alrighty, so there are a couple of racial factors that we should talk about before we dive deep into literally anything else. Let's talk about those things today. Let's talk about number one. First and foremost, right? When we talk about these factors, what is the first thing that tends to come in mind for you? For example, how does your identity, racial identity, how does it affect your education? Because a lot of people, they don't think too much about it. But for certain people like me, as you can see, I have this beautiful flavor of mocha skin. It does have an effect though, right? So we're going to see not only like skin, but just identity as a whole, right? For reference, I'm African American. How the world interacts with me will affect my education. But that's just me as an example. But when it comes to other characters, or even in fiction, how does that apply? We see this kind of with like shows like Hey Arnold, and so many other kinds of shows. But how does it apply for this character? I'm going to show you a couple of theories and follow through with me on all of them. Let's talk about number one, right? When it came to him being within the entertainment troupe that he was in, we talked about before how he would essentially have a studio teacher, right? With that studio teacher, that comes a few issues, right? Intersecting with the whole racial factor of it all. one of those issues that tend to come into effect or might potentially be in effect is having little to no racial representation or relatability with your instructor. Because when you are with your teacher, right, sometimes you want to have a good interaction, a good relationship with a teacher, and your mentor is everything. But what happens when essentially the teachers and instructors around you have a hard time connecting with your culture, for one? Well, for Hisoka specifically in this case, this would mean that his studio teachers might not know him well enough, right? And they may lack an empathetic understanding of him, empathetic understanding. And so in turn, because of that whole situation, right, it's like, we can't relate. It seems like you are not understanding where I'm coming from, especially for his first time coming in, right? When Marino scooped the kid up and like discovered him, we already know the story because I talked about it in previous episodes. It's like he scooped him up and discovered him and brought him into a completely new environment. It's just like, here you go, kiddo, show business for you. And bringing around a couple of other people, it's like there was, again, the lady in the long dress, which I theorized to be his studio teacher. It's like with her specifically, and Marino, right, being his mentors of it all. It's hard to relate. It'd be like, I feel like a stranger around you guys. I feel like I'm here, but I'm not really here because I'm not really understanding what's going on. Everything is just so new to me. This is a new environment for me. And we talked about how before his mother's passing, there's a high chance that he may have had lived kind of this more quiet village life previously. And now we in the big city and we have all these different people. They didn't come from the same background as me. Shit is weird, right? It's like, I'm gonna be a bit shy because I don't know any of y'all. So for him, that might have been what was going down. And there might have been a chance for essentially being relieved whenever he went back to isolation and being on his own, because it's like, it's overstimulating. Y'all stressing me out. And not to mention, there might be a couple of negative stereotypes that you have about me. He didn't have to do anything for, like, again, the other adults to be weird about it. Do I think it's for racial reasons? Not necessarily, right? But that is something to take into consideration. It really is. For the instructor to be like, well, I didn't have high expectations of you considering your background. That could be something that might have been said. Do we have any written evidence? Not necessarily, but again, this is something to think about. So it's like, oh, you didn't have like high expectations for me? It's like, how come? It's like, well, you kind of have to prove yourself, because given, you know, your whole vibe, who you are, before I just had no trust that you would be able to handle all of the things that I'm teaching. And that's how some kids feel, where it's like, I don't know if my teacher has any faith in me, considering my background. But yeah, that's just one of the few things that could come into interaction, especially when you have the identity of being a person of color of some kind, right? Interacting in these kinds of environments, even if like the majority of your peers are the same way, there still might be a preference to others. Now in Hisoka's case, it's kind of the opposite, considering he has this more so golden child dynamic with Marino. So he has been a bit more favored. So certain aspects of this whole thing might not be fully actualized, but that is something that outside of Marino he might interact with, right? The distrust or things that might have prejudice behind it. Number 2, racial stereotyping from instructors. So following on to that, right? with the exception of Marino, other like adults or other instructors that might come into Hisoka's life, some of those stereotypes might persist with the more so Hispanic / Romani like identity. And you're probably wondering, well, what even are those stereotypes that you are alluding to? It's like, what are they? Tell me. What could they possibly be? Okay, don't cancel me. I'm gonna just tell you right now what they are. Don't cancel me. These are not my own words. Some of these stereotypes that might exist within that kind of world, right? The kind of stereotypes that might be alluded to is the following. Number one, there is an old saying that came from 1945, which was the belief that most children of either Mexican or any other Hispanic descent, but Mexican was the one example, a Mexican descent, cannot speak English, right? Their English was broken. That was like a stereotypical belief. They have no proper health habits, so pretty much they called them dirty. Not my words, okay? No tussling. They called them dirty, and they needed training in moral manners of, I guess, Western society. Yeah, not fun vibes. I told you. That shit is icky. Yeah. And then a lack of cleanliness, so we must teach them moral manner and cleanliness. Like, that's kind of the belief that honestly still resides for a lot of people when it comes to how they think about Hispanic individuals. Is it everybody? No. And thank goodness for that. But, certain racist mindsets like that, it bleeds into how you treat somebody else. And again, for this character, it's like, it might bleed. We might see that. Right? It's not completely out of left field, given that potential. Another one, or another old belief that still resides, that's still deep within U.S., both U.S.'s in this case, cultures, is that if we educate the Mexicans better, who will pick our crops? It sounded like, who said that? One meme. It was like, if you kick out of the Mexicans, who will clean out our toilets? It's like, I don't remember who said that. Homegirl, that was nasty. She pretty much just said the newer version of this old statement. And it was just like, that's crazy. But again, that's not a new belief for people who tend to have like prejudices and racism towards like Hispanic individuals. Or Hispanic and Latino, because it's both groups. They tend to cross over. It's like, how does this apply here? Well, for one, right, we will later touch upon how this character's main belief system is, I want to prove people like wrong about me. People have these certain judgments, and it's like, I want to essentially kick your ass and prove you wrong. That's the main consensus for Hisoka's character. And it's like, what better way to show that than like one of the first aspects where it's like, he was homeless, he was treated poorly due to like poverty, but not just poverty, but also being within a minority class. But you're probably wondering, for some people, it's like, but he's white passing though, right? And he kind of is. We'll touch upon that a little bit later, maybe in a tea talk. So it's like, he didn't get it as bad. I would argue that he got discovered and he ended up in show business because he still has like desirable traits. Canonically, he's supposed to have like more so olive skin. They paled it, like they whitewashed the hell out of him. It's like, side note, they whitewashed the hell out of him for like the anime. It's like in the manga, he's styled to have like olive skin. So, but even with that, olive skin and things of that nature, he still had desirable traits enough to be picked up and scooped up to be discovered within show business. But, right, even that proximity to whiteness. It's like at the end of the day, you're not that. And people notice. There's certain things about you where it's like, we know what you are. Yeah. Eventually, it's like, we'll know what you are. And we know like. So. That's just some of the things. It's not all the things. It's some of the things. It's some of the things. What's something else that we can get down into? I'm glad you asked number three. Because it's not done. We have segregation within education. You're probably thinking, girl, what are we talking about now? Segregation within education? Sit down. The blame. Let's start there. Whenever you see like the blame for like the lack of education within Hispanic communities, like where is the blame going to? The blame for the kids' dismal education during the times in which there was high critiques of what was going on, right? Because there were gaps going on. It was like compared to other groups, it's like they tend to be behind. Like a lot of kids of Hispanic/Latino descent, they were behind. It's like, why is that? Well, without taking anything else in consideration, right? It's like the socioeconomic status of their parents, therefore the lack of resources and things of that nature. No. There were politicians out there that pretty much was like, let's blame the parents. Yeah, it's absolutely just their fault. There's no other factors. It's literally just them. And again, it was placed the blame on the parents instead of like a lack of resources towards those maybe Spanish-speaking kids. You ever consider maybe hiring a teacher that's bilingual? That does a little Espanol and Inglés? Have we considered that? No, they haven't. And they'd be like, because of the fact that like I can't speak to you, because one of the first things I've said where it's like he got introduced maybe to a service, it's like, could he talk to the rest of y'all concerning the community that he lived in before? And it's like, he think he high and mighty. No, he just I just don't think he can communicate with y'all like that. First of all, why are you judging kids like that? Again, the adults that were in this man's life during his childhood, it's like they were interesting things, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. It's like we're going way off track here. I don't know what we're doing, but it's not on the track of destiny. It's just not. So you have that going on, and then you have essentially, it's like, well, I don't know what to classify you, so I'm just going to classify you as like a bit slow, if you will. Come to find out, it's like, honey, I'm very smart. I just don't understand you. Right? There's a lot of wrongful classifications because I don't speak your language. And it's like, shoot. It's like, I just have no idea what you're saying. I came from a completely different community, and you're not giving me any resources and space to assimilate. It's like, dang, give me the space and time to do that. But I truly believe for this specific character, there might have been an easier time, like assimilating into a new environment, right? Being from all of these different previous backgrounds, including like being homeless, that definitely does take an effect to how you deal with environments later on. You'd be like, give time to adjust to that. And add on top of that, the small mixture of like racial factors of being within a, not only Hispanic, but Hispanic Romani, to be specific. Like, we'll touch upon the Romani portion, but it's like, I came from a small community. And then my mom died. I ended up homeless for some time. And maybe I do speak the same language as you, just not in the same way, right? It's like, you speak in a whole new lingo. Show business English is a different kind of English for everybody. So it's like, what's going on here? And add on top of that, you might know, like, my identity. And you won't treat me very nice because of it. It's like I'm dealing with mess right now. And for this character, that's essentially what's going on. It's like I'm dealing with mess right now. I'm dealing with mess. But yeah, it's like wrongful classifications for education needs due to low expectations. So again, it's like that low expectation. You don't think much of me. It's like you already put me down here when it comes to your frontal. I'm gonna prove you wrong on that. It's like you assume all of these like harsh things and harsh stereotypes about me, and it's like that's not true. It's like I'm gonna play stupid in your face, and that's a common thing you'll see with this character. It's like he's not as there's different ways people perceive him. People either perceive him as stupid. He's not. Nowhere close. That nigga's a genius. Okay? That's why the standard should be higher for him, if anything. He knows what he's doing. He's just playing in your face. And for even people within the audience, it's like, you are so easily fooled. He is playing in your face. But you probably have all of these assumptions about him due to a multitude of things. Some of which, again, could be your underlying belief about the Romani people, low-key. Low-key, not high-key. Like, it's just a little bit of that, but it mostly has to do with how he moves as a person. And it's like, I don't blame you. But just know, he's playing in your face. So, wrongful classifications for certain kids, because it's like, I'm a smart person. You just don't think I'm smart because I don't speak English. Or, 2, I don't speak English in the same way you do. What's wrong with me? I'm smart, right? But the main reason why a lot of like Hispanic or Latino communities, they tend to fell behind, or how that pertains to even just one kid in this case, it's just like, hey, lack of resources. Can you give me the resources needed to catch up with you guys? Because it's like it's in a different language. Assimilation is key here, right? It's like, how can I assimilate if I don't even know where to start? Ain't that something? It's like, I don't even know where to begin. You guys are giving me all of this, and it's like, I don't know where to begin with you. I don't know where to start. You're confusing me, right? You're confusing my eyes. You're confusing my ears. So that's why. Not to mention the addition of, like, I don't think it applies 100% to his character, but just as an additional fun fact, right, for why the Hispanic portion, why they tend to have fell behind, it's like it's not because of this. It's because of other things. Another thing was, like, during the early 2000s, in which Hisoka would have been a kid, we were having like anti-immigration sentiments back then. First of all, it's been a problem. It's just that the current administration exacerbated it. But it's always been a thing, right? And for the USS, I imagine it was no different. It's always been a thing, right? It was like one thing to be homeless. It's like another thing to be homeless and a minority. It's like you would have to worry about multiple different things, including deportation, potentially. Because we saw, for those of you, or we heard, for those of you that went to the Secession Monday episode, we heard about like the bum incident and how they essentially have jailed and I think deported him or just put him in jail. Like either way, they incarcerated him for being homeless and not being from there. And even though this is like Hisoka's homeland, similar to like the 95% or so people who are of Hispanic Latin origins, they're born here. But it's like it doesn't matter because society still treats you as an outsider somehow. Even if you were to be born here, it's like, I'm from here. It's like, that don't matter. We still see you as an outsider. So you always have to kind of like prove yourself to us because we will never see you as one of us. Crazy shit. I assure you. So you have, again, all of that building up for this specific character. Just, there you go. And of course, with that kind of mentality, it's like, well, all of these things are going on about me just off of I didn't even say a word. Like, my identity alone is causing controversy. Well, of course I'm going to have low academic morale, because it's like, we already have high amounts of judgment in the room. I ain't even do nothing. But again, despite all of that, we'll see how he turned out kind of fine. Kind of, it's like, despite all that, it's like, I don't care. I'm gonna get my knowledge, get what I need to know, and I'm gonna go. It's like, it's fine. You don't have to like me, but I'm here. You're not gonna stop the flow, the function. The flow and the function. Okay? Okay. And then after that, you have just all of those things going on. And then you have the last thing, which is like, even within when he was living with his mama, right back when Hisoka was living with his mother, he was living with his mama. One of the other things that his society within the USS paid attention to is like that population, or even with like classified with other groups, it's like those populations, they're growing. What's up with that? Well, by 2010, and I think around this time, you probably would have been either somewhat out the circuits or still within it. But by 2010, pretty much, the Hispanic communities have comprised 26.5% of the total Nevada population. So that's a thing. So in Glam Glassland, which is the equivalent, it would have been like 26.5%. This source is from the NSHE. And then after that, you had a 45.9% chance from like 2009 to 2010 of like the population growth or population spike. And this was due to a mixture of things. It's like birth population along with like people coming in. But if you were within like more so of an enclosed Hispanic community, it's more so due to birth population more than anything else. And then you have the majority of your population. There's not a lot of elders there. The elders are sparse. It's mostly young folk. A lot of young people versus elders. Even though the elders are there, it's like, that's probably why they're leading, because of how rare they are. There's not that many. It's a lot more young folk than there are elders, so the elders tend to lead because, quote unquote, the older, the wiser. These are things that touch upon his childhood before his mother passed. You're probably wondering, it's like, how does it affect now? Because it's like, if you have that kind of population, and you're one of those people, and the population is growing, that means there's more resources that had to be accommodated for. And it's like, there's so many new folks here. We didn't take that into consideration. Whoopsie daisy. What are we going to do with all of you? I don't know, but we got to figure out something, because that these people are here. There are future workers, there are future, but we don't have enough resources for you guys. So you're gonna have to fall behind. And lo and behold, that's just some of those reasons from a racial aspect. Just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. Now again, it may not pertain to every single thing for the specific character, only because it's like he had high favor from Marino. So some of these things, I would argue a lot of these things actually, he was shielded from. But the potential of that still persisting even without Marino there, it's like, that's always a thing. Okay, and now, for the last aspect for essentially the racial factors, before we get into the neurodivergent factors, we have pretty much the Romani section. So we're just going to go over this really, really quickly. This is the most important one, if anything. So that crossing of identity, the Romani portion is one. Let's talk about how essentially Hisoka might have had a few gaps in his education from, again, when he was alive and well with his mama, and his mama was alive and kicking. During this time, when he was with his mother, like before he came to his studio teacher, because the studio teacher might have realized, hey, there's some gaps here. There's some stuff missing, so you might need to catch up on this. Why is that the case? Like, where did those gaps come from? But I'm here to tell you that those gaps may have come from, one, him not being able to participate in pre-K literacy activities, because those cost money. And if you came from an impoverished community, that may not be possible to gain such resources. So if you can't gain those resources, such as visiting the library, accessing tutors, right? Like accessing these little activities that these other kids get to do. It's like, again, we talked about this before in the poverty section of this analysis, like early poverty, childhood poverty. It's like, I can't access that. So for our community that's already kind of like impoverished and kind of isolated just a little bit, it's like, it's probably a bit harder to gain those resources, because where am I going to gain them at if I don't have the money? That's the prevailing issue, really. She can tell the stories and she could do all these things, which in and of itself could help with your child's like literacy and things of that nature, but without those like proper foundational resources, or maybe getting the proper tools, there are certain things where, you know, if you don't have the money, it's like you're gonna fall behind. So like with the studio teacher now that his mother passed away and he's been taken to these like entertainment troupes, there's probably certain things where it's like, okay, we're gonna have to slow down and we're gonna have to teach you these things because your community just didn't, not because they couldn't, but because they just weren't able to. Yeah, but that's the works. And then after that, and you have all this stuff going on with the limited economic and educational and social resources, she is less likely to, again, his mother was less likely to participate, so his studio teacher had to step in and be like, hey, you know, I'm gonna have to like step in and give you the resources that you need, because clearly it's not being given to you. I don't think that we can truly go here to here. It's like, you're a smart kid. Again, he's gifted, so regardless, he picks up on these things quickly in spite of all the previous things given. It's like, it's fine if you need to like slow down a bit, but ultimately I'm gonna be okay because I'm gifted. So it's like, despite all that, it's like, he'll be fine, he'll catch up. But that's just something to consider into his character. Like, that's a part of his past that cannot be erased. That is something that has to be taken into consideration. Then you have the next thing, right? Going even a bit more deeper into this, is you have, due to, and this is the very important part, so adding on to the discrimination aspect, like being judged and having the feeling of judgment just consistently be around you, to the point where, again, the mindset is, I must prove people wrong. Where do you think that mindset come from? I'm going to touch upon that. Another way this mindset could have prevailed and where it might have originated from is the Romani discrimination. Let's talk about that specifically. We touched on it a little bit, but not into great detail, but here we will. Previously, we talked about the history of Romani people, where they came from, how that attaches to this character, and here, let's get into the discrimination within the US. Because I did say it's like, is it as bad as Europe? No. But it does still exist. Due to Romani discrimination and other fears, the Romani tend to avoid the school system even within the United States. Now, it's not as big as Europe. So in other words, they may have like other ways around it, if you will, on how to handle the discrimination that goes on. Probably similar to like a lot of other groups, but the tradition, if you will, or the safest bet for them has been to hide. So they just tend to do that. It's like, I'm just going to homeschool my kids because I don't want them to deal with the racist bullshit that goes on. So they're just going to stay there, which again might be another main reason why in the days in which Hisoka lived with his mom, he did not go through traditional school, simply because of the discrimination / their culture mainly around that fear It's just like, it's probably better to just hide our children. So they just tend to do that. It's like, why deal with the racism when we can just hide? Yeah. So through the discrimination, again, even if it's lower for the United States, so that's not saying all the Romani kids did not go or didn't go through school in a traditional way. Some of them did, right? It's like some of them went through it through traditional means. It's like, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. It's like, it is what it is. Other families, they tend to hide away. Certain communities as a whole tends to hide away, be like, we got our own education system. And I feel like on Hisoka's end, that might have been the case, where it was like early education, like very early ages, since he was like a little baby, all the way up to either 4th or 5th grade. So pretty much right before his mother passed away. Being within that community is just like, we kind of teach our own kids, right? It's kind of just more connected that way. We don't really interact with the outside world too much. It's like maybe probably more so than, like, for example, the Curta clan, it was complete isolation. I would say maybe in this village particular case, if it were to exist, it would less likely be complete isolation and more so just like, oh no, we have access to the outside world, everything. Like, we know you guys exist. You probably know that we exist, but we like to keep things slightly closed. It's like just a little bit closed off. Not so much to the point that you gotta wonder if it's an ethno-state type closed. Just closed enough to where it's like, oh, they're just deeply hiding from certain things about society. Yeah, so they also tend to do that due to a lack of cultural understanding from everybody else. It's like, again, I'm tired of being misunderstood. I'm tired of having these negative perceptions about me, considering my people like dirty and all these other horrible things, right? Treating us like pretty much below the dirt. It's like, that's how you guys treat us. Why would we want to be around you? So we'll just hide away. So like within Glam Glassland, there's probably a whole bunch of hidden communities. And throughout Hisoka's childhood, he lived in one of them before he ended up being homeless, because it's like, there's no one else to care for me. I'm out on my own in pretty much the middle of Las Vegas. He got lucky to be discovered. So how many months or maybe a couple of years on the streets, and then after being on the streets, he got discovered, and then he got launched into the entertainment industry. So it's pretty much a back and forth with his character, which is also why I had such a hard time analyzing it, because it went from this place to this place to this place. It's like, in nature, he's all over the place. Like, that's kind of the thing. It's like, he's erratic, which probably is why he's eccentric now. It's like, I get why you're eccentric, because your child is all over the place. It's like, you went from here to here to here to here to here to here. I can't keep up with you. I'm sure that you're just like, yeah, I can't keep up with myself half the time. So I'm eccentric for a lot of things, but honestly, main reason is due to survival. So there we go. There's also, along with the avoidance due to a lack of cultural understanding from everybody else, along with the discrimination from everybody else, there's also a fear of like cultural erasure, right? It's like, we gotta keep the Romani culture intact, because there is a chance that the outside will want to erase it completely, just kind of rub it off of you. It's like, you are something else. We don't want you to identify as that. And that has happened before, so the fear is legitimate. So it's just like, again, you're not going to go to school for a little bit. For some people within the community, it may not be everybody, but it may be certain people where it's like, keep your children inside. Hide your kids. Hide your wife. Hide everybody. Because I can't trust y'all. I can't do it. Can't trust y'all. So that pretty much is some of the aspects that might bleed into today, right? Because if you have grown up with the belief where it's like, I gotta hide a part of myself, hide a part of myself, but at the same time I have to prove to the outside that all of these belief systems that you have are incorrect. And not only do I have to basically live my whole life hiding, proving myself, hiding, and proving myself, and hiding, and proving myself, it's like eventually it's gonna mess with your mind, right? It's gonna mess with your mind, essentially having that. So you're gonna grow up with the belief where it's like, I ultimately have to consistently prove myself in a way. But for this character, the way in which he proves himself is a lot different than conventional means, but that's the underlying belief. Where it's like, I like proving bitches wrong. Because you have all these negative assumptions. And I'm here to show you that you can essentially suck my dick about it. I don't know. Like, it's not in the way that people think where it's like groveling or anything, but it's still within that same sphere of mental. Yeah. But that is just some of those aspects when it came to the whole racial factor of it all. We're going to take a quick break, and then after that we're going to go into the neurodivergent matter, which is the more so fun section. And we're going to see how essentially both of these tend to combine towards the end. So I'll see you after the break. Real quick, everybody, before we move on to part 2 of the finale of the early education, this video is in fact sponsored by Molly B's Cookies. So I'll see you right after the sponsor. We're going to end part 1, and then I'll see you guys around part 2.
Molly B's brings bold, artistic cookies to your pantry. These cookies easily melt in your mouth and have a unique flavor experience. With the finest ingredients, including natural fruits, chocolate, and spices, it makes for the perfect holiday gift. For my lovely listeners, you can get the highest exclusive discount by using my promo code ANALYSIS. And now, back to the podcast.
Guys, we're going to put an early conclusion to part 1, and we're going to continue this for part 2. So part 2 is going to go more to like the neurodivergency aspects and all of that. So this isn't over. We're just going to continue on with part 2. I will see you guys around for that. Please remember to like and subscribe to essentially every single platform that you see this on, because the goal is to get to 1,000 so that more of us exist. Alright? I will see you guys next time, which is in the next episode. So hopefully I'll get to see you guys there, and then after that we'll pretty much conclude everything and we'll go into the next section, which is the mental health section. And then for Hisoka's childhood, we'll wrap it up and we'll get to unit 2, his teenhood. Stick around for that, because that's going to be an exciting unit. I know that for sure. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of things. Alright guys, I will see you hopefully in a few.